So we have till now discussed about how to attach JSON file and how to make data-driven requests through Postman, right? Now we will talk about data-driven assertions on API response through Postman. So basically, why do we need to add the assertions? We have discussed that yesterday. Assertions are tests, assertions are checks, right? And it's very important because that's what we are doing as a QA. We are testing everything. If the server is responding response code 500, then my server is down while I was expecting response code 200. So that is something I should always test, right? With data driven API requests, my server might go down. Now, why? If I make thousands of requests here, right? Now, I might be having a myth that my server is very well like equipped with thousands of requests can be handled, right? I might have this myth, right? And I might think that my server can handle any load, right? So thousands of requests are going to my server, and those are being successfully processed, and I should not put a check of response code, right? But we should not do that. We can add the checks, right? We can have the same file like I mentioned earlier, 201 response code. So I can add this response. So what is a test now? Coming to the point zero now again. So test is something where we have actual data, okay, where from where we get the actual data. We get actual data from the server, and we can have expected data. So we already know what is expected, right? That's what a test is all about. The user is expecting something, and as a QA I am the user of the system, so I already have some assumption of the expected data. So I will mention the expected data in the CSV file. So or somewhere or in the test I can mention the expected data directly. Okay, so response code 201 is the expected response code from the API when I send a post request. Fine. And the server will send me the actual data. So actual data means the actual response code that is returned from the server. So server will send the actual value, okay, 201 201, but sometimes server can also send response 500. Okay, why? Because my server went down, I sent too many requests to the server. So we will perform these checks, okay, that comparison of the expected data with actual data. Okay, actual will be coming from the server and expected we already know, so we can mention in our test. So where we need to mention this, we can simply, let me correct this first. Okay, so let me correct the payload so that when we use the CSV file it will be easier to manage. So it was username, right? So now here we have the tests section. Yesterday what we have learned, we have these snippets ready already. Okay, we have these snippets ready. I can use this response body and status code snippet. Okay, so first of all I'll use this status code snippet. Okay, in the test section I have clicked on this status code is 200. By default you will get this option, okay, in Postman. So test scripts, fine. Basically status code is 200. Okay, so I am expecting status code 201. Okay, I can mention here, and we have seen how to use this in our previous video. Today we will have the dynamic status code from CSV file. That will be the expected status code, right? we have mentioned 201 here, but we will also do some negative testing. So I can also change the name of this test. So verify, our test case should sound like a check. So verify the status code is fine. After is, I want to add the dynamic value. So dynamic value can also be added. I'll show you now. So now I have these expected status codes, right? I can also call it a response code. So you can see that when I make a post request, I should get 201, but I have also mentioned 400 here and 500. Why? This is a negative test that I want to perform. That when I am like I want the test to fail so that I can check that my test is working fine or not. I will send a legitimately I am like intentionally I want to make this test fail. So I will send a valid username. Okay, I will send a valid name of the user, but I will expect a 400 bad request from the server so that my test case fails, because server is going to return 201, but I just to test my script, right? I want the script to fail so that it will it will prove that my script is working fine. So here I will create a variable where, okay, where expected status code equals to pm dot get dot, okay, so pm dot variables dot get. Okay, so now variables, so from where the variables are coming, the variables are coming from this csv file, right? The heading, that is the column name, right? So this is my variable, so I can copy this. Okay, I can here, right? I will use this variable name, that is response code, not name. For now let's leave the name. I will just use the response code. Okay, response code is my variable name. The value from the csv file will be stored in this expected status code, so I will mention this in my test case name. Okay, so that what will get printed as a test case name is verify the status code is the expected status code, that is 201 400 201 201 500. I'll show you soon how it happens. Then the function starts. Function says that pm, that is postman object dot response to have status 201. So now 201 is a hard coded value. For my data driven test, how can I put a hard coded value? That's not a right thing. So I will take this variable, that is expected status code, I will put here. Fine. So every time the test will run, this value will get updated. Okay, so now let's save this. I have pressed Ctrl S. You can also click on this button to save this test. Okay, and my request body, it should be name, right? Name. Okay, the variable name is name here. You can see. Let's update this variable name, but let's keep it as it is. No worries. So this is the name. Okay, name variable, and it's fine. The key value and the variable name can be same. So don't worry. Fine, it will be updated, and I will just say here leader. Okay, and I have saved this request. I have just click on this save button. Fine. Now I will go to these three dots, go to the run collection option. I will deselect every request here, all requests, select only post request. Fine, select the CSV file by clicking on this button. Now all files and user details. Fine, open. So automatically it says 5 iteration. The data file that is selected is of type text/csv. You can also preview the file. Okay, so click on this preview button. You can preview the file. So the intention here is the response code. This is the expected response code. Okay, this is what we are expecting when we send this data to the server. Okay, now this test will pass, this test will pass, this will pass, but this will fail because we are expecting 500, but the server will respond with 201. Okay, so let's see that our 3 tests are passing and 2 will fail. Okay, so that it will prove that our script is working fine. Okay, so let's click on this run practice collection. Okay, something went wrong. Okay, why? An error has occurred while running the test script. So basically, the error that we are making here, that response code is not defined, we are actually accessing the variable from CSV file, right? The column name of the CSV file is basically the variable name. So I should make this in double quotes, okay? Because that is the maybe the string data type is expected for this function. Okay, get. So let's try this solution. Okay, I'll save this and I'll go to the collection now. Okay, run collection. Fine, I'll deselect all and I will select this post. I will select the file again. Okay, user details. Let's run this now. So this time our test is working fine. Okay, and the issue is solved that we were facing. So basically you can see the dynamic test name is also printed. Okay, verify the status code is 201. Okay, so this 201 value is populated dynamically from the CSV file in this test case name. Okay, next we have this verify the status code is 400. Okay, expected response to have status code 400, but we got 201. So our test script is working fine. Intentionally we were expecting 400, but our expectation was wrong. So that is why the test case has failed. Now next we have 201, right? So looking at the CSV file, we have at the third position 201. Okay, and third and fourth position, the third and fourth test case is passing. Okay, next the status code is 500 in the CSV file, you guys can see, and it is working fine. Okay, so our test script is working fine. What we can do, I will quickly update the file with correct status code 201 and 201. Okay, so we have saved this file, so I'll just overwrite the file. Fine, I will close this file. Don't save. I have a CSV issue on my machine, so that is why I am opening the CSV file in a notepad and editing that. You guys can also do that, so no worries. Okay, so next, what is the point? Next, you can also test the response values. Okay, this was about testing the response code, but now you can also test the response values. So we can add a deep check now. Okay, deep check is basically checking the JSON value. Okay, so I have add this check here. Okay, bring your cursor at the end of this test script. Okay, and now add this value check. So we will test that, verify that the new verify the new user newly or new created user name is, after is we will create a variable. Okay, so that it will take the username from CSV file. Okay, so I will say var where user underscore name pm dot variables dot get. Now this is getting the value from CSV file. So the column name is name only. Okay, in the CSV file. Okay, so our variable is ready. Now username is expected. So I will say expected username, better. Expected username. Fine. I will print this also. So how to do that? Verify. This is your first string plus. Okay, plus the second string, that is expected username. Okay, our test case name will become verify the new created user name is expected username, and the function starts. So our function says that the JSON data that we are receiving in response from the server being stored in this variable pm.response.json. So this gets the JSON response that we have received and stores in this variable JSON data. Then PM, that is postman object dot expect JSON data dot value. Now instead of this value, I will say dot name. Okay. So because this JSON data is basically this JSON that we have received from server in the response body. Okay. So JSON data dot name. So here this name value should contain the value that we have sent. So basically what value we are sending? Ravi Shastri, Sachin Tendulkar, right? MS Dhoni, Rahul Dravid. Fine. These values we are sending through the CSV file. I'll show you the CSV file in right manner. So these are the values we are sending. So these same values should be returned in the response from the server. Okay. So I will, as we have created this variable contains the value from the CSV file. Okay? So this part is getting the value from CSV file and storing in this variable, and JSON data dot name. This is the, you can also do one thing. Okay, in this function you can say var actual user name equals to JSON data dot name. Okay, fine. This sounds good. So we will say semicolon. Okay, and then we will say actual username here. Expect actual username to equal to expected username. Fine. This comes from CSV file. This comes from the response. Okay. I hope this works for us. Let's save this. Let's go to collection, run collection. Okay. Deselect all, select post request, select the file. Okay. And all files. Then select the CSV file. Fine. 5 iterations. Let's run this collection. Oh wow. So our test is working fine. You guys can see that dynamically the expected name is also printed in the test case name. So you guys can see that verify the new created username is Ravi Shastri, Sachin Tendulkar, MS Dhoni, Rahul Dravid, and in the last one it's Virender Sehwag. Fine. I can do one thing for you so that you can check that the script is working fine or not. I will, instead of this expected username, I will say Rohit Sharma. Fine. I'm expecting that the server should return in response Rohit Sharma on this name value. Okay. This will make the test case fail because the server is going to return the values that we have sent. Ravi Shastri, Sachin Tendulkar, MS Dhoni, Rahul Dravid, and Virendra Sehwag. Fine. Let's save this test. Run the collection quickly. Okay. Deselect all. Select post. Select the file. Fine. Select the CSV file. Open. Run practice collection. This time the tests has failed. Okay, so expected, I think there, so basically we were expecting Rohit Sharma, right? So now I hope you guys got the idea that our test script is working fine. So we will again replace this with expected username. Fine. I will save this and I will run this once again. Run collection. Fine. Deselect all. Select the post request. Select the CSV file and run the collection. Fine. This is how you can do the data-driven assertions using Postman and data-driven API request using Postman. Okay. Thank you guys for joining today. Let's connect tomorrow again at same time,